Welcome to this edition of Dufferin Life. I'm your host, Teena Avery. Thank you so much for joining me. So we're going to be talking about an event. It's something I've actually never attended, but always thought that it would be kind of interesting to find out. There is an event coming to Orangeville. It is the Psychic and Crystal Fair happening at the Best Western Inn and Suites here in Orangeville. And joining me today, we have Tony. Tony, thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. So you're one of the exhibitors at the show, is that correct?
Very correct. Thank you. Yes.
Okay. And can you tell us a little bit about what these shows are like and what someone could expect that's maybe never been to one before?
Okay. So for someone like you who has never been before, you can expect about 20 to 25 booths over there. And there are lots of psychics who are doing different modalities. There are some people who are selling crystals and other spiritual products, and it's quite a mix. Last time that we had this show, it was a super success, and we hope it's going to be even better. So people go around, talk to the psychics, or what we call the front person, who will give you the information of what they do. And right behind there, the readings are done.
So you yourself, you are a psychic, correct?
That's right.
So you do, and I know there's different modalities, and we're going to get into a little bit about that as well.
Sure.
Just what the differences of them are and that sort of thing. So if I came to you and I wanted a reading, what type of a reading would I expect? I mean, obviously, when you're doing this at a show, it's probably a little bit shorter than what you would normally do, that sort of thing.
At my office,
yes, yeah. So what would somebody expect if they were having a reading done?
So you asked me about my services. I do 7 different modalities, and I do all of them in the reading, which is approximately half an hour. So I start with face reading, and then auras, astrology, numerology, which is calculated from your date of birth, and then I do cards, I do your palms, the back and the front. So you can expect the whole 9 yards.
You've intrigued me now, the back. So I've always assumed palm reading would be just the inside of your hand. You read the outside.
The back tells a lot about a person, their character, etc. Yes.
Mine tells me I'm getting older and I can see wrinkles.
And that you have nice nail polish.
Yes. I'm all about my nails, Tony. If anybody who knows me knows that. It's definitely something that I love to do. So at a psychic fair, and I know there'll be crystals and other things that are not necessarily what you do, but I know that there's different meanings for different crystals.
The crystals are sold. People buy them. They collect them, and they have a spiritual meaning to it.
Yes, yeah, I know my sister is very into that, and she has different crystals and different bracelets that she wears and that sort of thing, and most likely we'll be going there together, I'm assuming, on those dates. And just to let you know that this fair is happening September 15th to 17th, and on the screen you'll find some more information coming up very soon to tell you a little bit about the times. I'll go through that as well. But I am intrigued with the different modalities. Now the aura, can you explain to me what that means? What is that?
So there are 7 energy points, which are called chakras, or some people like to pronounce it as chakras, and from these emanate vibrations. So every electromagnetic impulse that is taking place in you, the way you think, the way you feel, the way you talk, is changing that all the time. And then let's say you're sitting in front of me, I see the auras, and I tell you, do this, don't do this, beware of this, whatever the reality may be at that moment.
That's very interesting to me. I mean, like I said, I think I was at a psychic fair a long time ago, but I just walked around. I didn't really speak to anybody, and I looked at some of the crystals and the jewelry and that sort of thing. So and I'm assuming that my aura changes based on how I'm feeling. How
you're feeling, how you're thinking, what you're doing. It changes. But I mean, the change is small. A lot of it is quite, similar.
Okay. And I think a lot of us have seen tarot cards. You do the cards as well, you mentioned. And when you're having a reading done, how does that, I mean, I'm sure it all works together to give you a general sense of what you're saying to me, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, what's coming for you, things that have happened in your past, that sort of thing. So everything ties together then, like the cards would tie into what your aura is all about?
Yes. They are one continuum in the same story, yes.
Okay. And how long have you been doing this?
Almost 40 years now.
Yeah. And is this, and this is a skill that you hone and you get better at as you do it? Is that how it works?
I would say so. Experience teaches you much about people. But you see, a lot of people think that it's a mechanical thing just because you bought a deck of cards and you know what their meaning is. No. The most important thing is to have the intuition, the sixth sense, the third eye, whatever you want to call it. If you don't have that, then your reading will be very base. But then with the intuition, you can really pick up things which may not even show.
Right, because I mean, if you turn over a card and you know the card's meaning, you can just, like you're saying, if you don't know or you don't have that intuition, people will just tell you the basic meaning of that card and how it could apply to you.
Yes.
Whereas with the intuition, you're saying you can go and delve in deeper into a little bit more about that specific person.
Yes.
Okay, so please tell me, can you do a reading with somebody who's not open to what?
That doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter?
No.
No?
At least not to me.
Okay. Because I was always thinking that if people didn't necessarily believe or think that or put a lot of faith into what you're telling them, that if that would make it harder for you to read them?
No, I have not had that problem.
No?
No.
My goodness. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Because I just thought that, so if someone asked you why they should come to the psychic fair happening in September, in just a short period of time, what would you tell them?
I would say it'll give you an insight into who you are. It will give you an insight into what is coming up in the future, opportunities, or if I have to caution you about doing something or not doing something. And it covers the entire life of a person, including relationships, etc. I mean, here I may add, most of the people, they come for two main questions. Love and money.
I can see that though. Like I can say, like, okay, tell me what's going to be happening. Or, I mean, and so if somebody was having difficulties in some of these areas, they come to you to find out.
Yes. So, for example, if a client is sitting in front of me, and let's say she's a lady like yourself, and she says that, with her husband, she has certain troubles, so I'll take the date of birth of the husband and her, check the compatibilities, tell her what she can do in which areas in order to improve the relationship.
Okay. Yes. And you don't need the husband there?
No.
No?
No. His name and date of birth is sufficient. The rest I can see from her palm or her astrological chart.
Okay, because we always see, online or it used to be in the newspaper and everything. You would look up your astrological, your horoscope, and that'd be like, they're always so general that
they have to be. First of all, who knows who has written it? Sorry,
of course,
I hope nobody is, faking it. The other is, it has to be general. Imagine if there are 12 zodiac signs, then approximately in each zodiac sign, 8.5% of the population is there, right?
Right.
So how can, we are about 8 billion right now, so 1 billion per zodiac sign. So
I mean, and I hear all these people talking all the time. I have a lot of friends that are very into astrological signs and different modalities and that sort of thing. And they'll say, oh well, the moon is in retrograde and like this and this. And I mean, are there general traits to an astrological sign? Like, are there, like,
yes,
do all,
of course.
I'm a Cancer, so do all Cancers have they're similar?
So you're a Cancerian. The most basic signs would be that you are very emotionally super sensitive, that you like to take care of people, that you are very generous. And in your case, because I've been reading you since I sat down. Yeah, you even if you have troubles, you don't like to share it. You cover it with your beautiful smile. But you're a wise lady. You've gone through so many things in life which have taught you a lot. You're a good leader. I mean, I couldn't go on and on and on.
But yeah, I mean, I will say.
And you need more sleep.
That's not reading me. That's the bags under my eyes. But I'll tell everybody, I was born with these. They just get worse as I get older. But you're absolutely right. I do need more sleep.
It's not from your shopping bags. No, it's not from that.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know, I will say you did hit the nail on the head for a few things, and that was so very, very quick. So, and I will say I'm somewhat skeptical. But you know, as I meet a lot of my friends, and my sister included, are a lot less. So as things happen in your life, things change in your life, and you start to believe in a little bit.
Yes.
Or your beliefs can change.
Absolutely.
Yes.
In fact, I didn't want to do this. You know, I have 3 university degrees. I did international business. I did not want to do this, although, and I don't come from a family which, you know, sometimes I hear people say, oh, we are 3rd generation psychics. I was not all that.
Okay.
But I think it was my calling. I was slowly dragged into it, shall I say, by my destiny. Yeah, so we were talking about all this. One thing I must tell you, that a lot of people think that they can challenge destiny. At least I could not. And what is in your destiny, you know, somehow the universe pushes you there, whether it's the work or the relationship or where you must live. I'd never thought I would immigrate to Canada, and I'm so happy here for the past 30 years.
Well, we're glad that you did then, because
yes,
I mean, you're
very much.
Canada is a beautiful place, and
absolutely,
yeah. And you're not. I know you're not directly from this area, but you're coming to the show that's happening very soon.
Yes.
And we encourage everybody to check out the information that has appeared on the screen, and it will appear at the end of the screen, to find out more information about Tony as well as about the Psychic Fair. And if you want to talk to Tony and have a reading done, September 15th to 17th is your goal. I believe on the Friday it starts at 2 p.m. until 9 p.m. Saturday is 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and I believe Sunday is 11 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Yeah.
So there you can go in and delve and if you're curious, just go. That's the way I look at things now. Like
be open to it.
Yeah, be open. And I think for me, a lot of the things we don't have a lot of time, but it's about having the experience.
Yes.
Right. So.
And you will be there, right?
Yes, I'm going to come out for sure. Tony, I want to thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, not at all. It was a pleasure and a privilege.
Well, I'm so glad that you could join us and share this information. I'm so glad that you could join us, and don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Hi, I'm Alethea O'Hara Stevenson, host of In Conversation with Alethea, right here on Rogers TV. Tune in regularly to hear inspiring stories from individuals right here in Dufferin County. These stories will educate, it will empower, and it will inspire you, right here on Rogers TV, Dufferin-Caledon.
Lovely viewers, it's your host of On the Couch, Antoine El Hashim, reminding you to tune in for every episode of Season 9 of the longest running and most loved local queer talk show on Rogers TV. Check it out.
Welcome back to this edition of Dufferin Life. If you're just tuning in, you're tuning in at a great time. We're talking about an event. We're talking about an event that has never come to Orangeville, and you may not be the first to hear about it, but hopefully you're going to be marking it on your calendar. Joining me today, we have Eason Nuttall, and I'm going to let him tell you about the event. So Eason, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Wonderful. So I'm excited to talk about this event, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. I don't want to give it away. Why don't you give us a little idea of what we're talking about?
Yep. Coming to the Orangeville Fairgrounds this September the 23rd, it's the Monster Trucks All Out Tour.
Monster trucks. I love monster trucks. I brought my kids to see them downtown Toronto years and years ago. Nice. So it's very exciting. So you're a monster truck driver, is that correct?
Yes. I drive the wadded up monster truck, one of the monster trucks in the tour this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So let's talk about what people can expect at the show on the 23rd of September.
Yeah, it's all out. Family fun, great for the whole family, the kids. You have a pit party at the beginning of the day where you get to meet the drivers like myself, like Kevin, like Sharon. Mm-hmm. You get to get up close and personal, get your autographs, get your merchandise, get all riled up for the show. And then the show begins, and it's all out chaos from there. Okay,
so let's talk about that. So some people may not have been to a monster truck show before. What types of events can we see happening?
Yeah, so we usually start off the show with best trick. So each truck and driver go out onto the track, and we have full range of whatever we want to do, but we get two chances.
Okay.
So you can do a donut, or a wheelie, or a sky wheelie, maybe just a big jump. I personally like going for a stoppie. It's where you get on the front two wheels and you're walking it across the floor. And
oh, that's very cool.
Yeah. And then after that, we have racing. That's head-to-head. Fastest one wins. And then you move into everyone's favorite competition, which is freestyle.
Okay.
That's where we each get 2 minutes to go out and jump over whatever, crash, roll. It's a great time.
So, jumping over. Do you jump over like old cars? Is that what you normally jump over, or is there different things that you jump over?
Yeah, we'll go over almost anything, really. Okay. Like I've seen trucks jump a house, buses are pretty common, cars, vans, big dirt piles, you name it. It's a monster truck. We like to have fun.
Absolutely. And we're going to get into like how much you actually practice for about that, to do all this type of things in just a minute. But let's talk a little bit about the trucks themselves, because they fascinate me. They're, for lack of this is my word, ginormous. They are ginormous. They're absolutely huge. So approximately how big are like the tires on a monster truck?
So a monster truck tire is 66 inches.
Okay.
They weigh about 900 pounds each.
Wow.
So there's a lot of weight, and when we get to a show, we have them in our semis, and we back them out, and we always, at each show, have to put all of the tires on before the show starts.
Okay.
Because we can't transport them like that. They're too big.
Well, that was going to be one of my questions. It's not like you see like a row of monster trucks driving up the road, to get there. So it's transport trucks is how you move them around?
Yeah, it's not miles per gallon. It's gallons per mile.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So how much so if the tires are 900 pounds a piece, how much does the actual whole thing weigh, approximately?
The whole machine is about, I'd say, 14,000 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, they're pretty, and they're getting heavier, because every year the trucks keep getting bigger, they keep jumping higher, so they have to be a lot stronger for today's audience.
Okay. So let's talk about the jumping. Like, I mean, how far do you have to, like, how long do you have to drive before you actually can, like, jump? Like, I mean, you'd have to go pretty far to get the momentum to get up and over with a truck that size?
Oh, no. We all have great big engines. We just put a brand new one into the Outfox monster truck that'll be coming this weekend, on the weekend of the show. Mm-hmm. And it has about 1,700 horsepower.
Wow.
So they go from nothing to clearing a bus easy in not very long.
That's impressive. Yeah. I'm just like, because I think like me, if I had to jump over something, I'd need like a big running start in order to get the momentum to get up there. So in the arena, how fast do the trucks really go?
It all depends on the venue size.
Okay.
Obviously in arenas, in tight spaces like hockey arenas, It's more about the vertical jumps and the acceleration, but when we're at a nice outdoor event like we will be here in the Orangeville Fairgrounds, we have all the space in the world.
Right.
So we can start flirting with the top speeds, which I think for us is about, monster trucks can go about 90 miles.
90 miles an hour.
Yeah. They're mostly geared for the acceleration because we can't run for very long. They get hot very quickly.
Right.
So it's all about, you want to be flat foot up and over whatever you're hitting.
Okay, and talking about hitting, so there's no point where the trucks actually battle against each other, is there? Like, it's like they're battling, or they're just battling to see who's the best at doing something?
I guess head-to-head racing would be the closest to like a on-the-track battle. They're not really like demolition derby cars where we're smashing into each other and things like that.
The damage would be phenomenal, I would imagine.
Yeah,
Very
and
expensive.
frightening.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I wouldn't want to get rolled over by a monster truck for sure. But yeah, in terms of just head-to-head, it's the whole show. Like, we're all very competitive. We're all keeping score. Who wins this weekend? Who wins next weekend? And it's a great time.
Well, that's absolutely. So how long have you been doing this?
I've been a monster truck fan since I was essentially born. Like, I found baby footage of a monster truck toy in my hand, age 1. And I've been crewing for about 10 plus years, and I started driving about last year.
Okay. Okay. I have a videotape of my son. I think he was in kindergarten or grade 1, and this is the honest to goodness truth. They said, "What are you going to be when he grew up?" And he looked at the camera and said, "A monster truck driver."
Awesome.
He loves it. He's not a monster truck driver, obviously, but he absolutely loves to see them and that sort of thing. So let's talk about the event itself. So do we know what time does everything happen?
So the pit party starts at 10 a.m. and then we have the show starting at 12.
Okay. And how long is the show normally?
The show is about 2 hours. We don't want to go too long because, you know, kids.
Yeah, attention span and that sort of thing.
Things like that, especially if you have afternoon shows when you start at prime time 7. You don't want to go on too late. But that doesn't mean it's not a great show. It's jam-packed, it's non-stop from beginning to end. You won't be bored, I promise.
No, how can you be? And let's talk a little bit about the noise, because monster trucks are fairly loud, are they not?
Yep, they're very loud, but we always have earmuffs for sale and on the premises at all times, and a lot of people do bring their own.
Right.
It is suggested to definitely have them, even outdoors, because they are very loud.
They are extremely loud, and having been to a big monster truck thing downtown Toronto, I think we had brought earplugs for our kids, and I ended up using mine as well, because it does get really, really loud, especially if you're in an enclosed space. But as you're saying, outside it's still very loud.
Yeah, even inside actually. Like we all have communications with the officials, and I have my own custom molded earpieces.
Right.
And even then, it'll ring every so often if you step on it hard enough.
Right. Okay, so let's talk about what the ride experience is.
Oh, that's great. That's a monster truck ride experience that we have at the Monster Trucks All Out Tour. We have 2 trucks. It's very popular and it does sell out. Basically, how I've described it is it's like a roller coaster without a track.
Okay.
You get in the back. It's perfectly fine for kids to go with their parents. The whole family can ride, and you're doing donuts and you're spinning around and you're catwalking and you're going sideways. And Brendan does a great job. It's a great fun time.
So let's talk about, I wanted to make sure that we talk about the amount of time it takes you to train to be something like this. I said, I know you were part of it for quite a few years, and then you've just been doing it for a year, but how long is that training process to learn how to do all of these types of tricks?
Well, honestly, the training is really live and in person at the shows. There isn't really a school or a place that we can just kind of, I guess, practice on our own. So it's very trial by fire, which definitely is exciting as a driver, because even now I'm still working on new tricks and I'm still trying to perfect others.
Okay.
So if you mess up in your rollover, hey, that's what the crowd loves to see.
Yeah, I guess it's true. I think people have a natural tendency to go, what happens if it doesn't go right, right?
Yeah.
It's cool when you see it go right, but people get very excited when they see things happen. So do you own your monster truck? Like, is it or do you drive for somebody who owns the truck? Is it like the Grand Prix type idea?
Yeah, so I'm just a hired driver. I've been with the Monster Truck All Out team for a while.
Okay.
And Yeah, I've put in the time. Generally, you start as a crew person, then you kind of move up the ranks.
Okay.
And yeah, here we are.
So, what about inclement weather? Does that affect a show?
Absolutely not. Rain or shine, the show will go on, and some people even like it when it's rainy, because, you know, just like a good old mud bog, you have the mud flying in the air, and we can go over anything anyways. Those big tires, they grip nicely, and everything will be crushed regardless.
That's absolutely amazing. It sounds like so much fun, and I'm so sad that I'm actually not going to be able to attend, and because I would. And it's funny, my son lives in Nova Scotia, and I was just out to visit him, and I told him that you guys were coming to town. He's like, "That's not fair. I don't live there anymore." And I was like, "These are the choices you made, right?" So, but yeah, I mean, it just sounds like so much fun, and all ages. Tickets are available online.
Yep. Tickets are available online. You can go to our website, monstertruckstallout.com, and you can find all of our upcoming events as well as links to the tickets.
And that's wonderful. So you guys tour all over the place then? Or is it just Ontario? Do you go across Canada?
We are Canada's largest monster truck tour. We do a lot of our shows in Ontario, as we are also based in Ontario, but we've gone all over the place, not including also the States. So will we possibly see your son anyways?
Yeah,
so,
you never know. I'll have to keep an eye on it and let see if you're going out towards Halifax that way. So if you were to give advice to somebody who, you know, like my son or when you were young, about how to get involved in doing this or how to follow their dreams to become a monster truck driver, what would you say to them?
I'd say don't give up. Look at our tour dates. Find a show that's coming near you. Come out, say hi, volunteer. You know, we're always happy to see a helping hand and a friendly face. And then eventually you can get integrated into the team and work your way up, just like I did.
That's amazing. And I think it's phenomenal that it's coming to town, and I love to see bigger, exciting events that have never been here before. So I'm sure the community will be super, super excited. So I'm going to ask you one more time to give us all the details and the times and where it's going to be, just to make sure everybody has that information.
Yep, so that's the Orangeville Fairgrounds, September 23rd. Pit party starting at 10 a.m. and the show starting at 12.
Well, I want to thank you so much for coming. And I want to say to you guys, you need to mark this one on your calendar. If you've never been to a monster truck show and you're thinking that's not my thing, you definitely have to check it out because it is so much fun. I didn't think it was my thing, but we had an absolute blast. So thank you again, Patrick, for joining us. And I wishing you all of the luck with all of the tricks and everything that you're going to be doing. And the catwalk, is that the one where you walk on top on the front two tires?
The moonwalk.
The moonwalk.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. Well, I can't wait to hopefully see some video about that. Thank you for joining us. And until next time, bye-bye for now.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.